Hey folks, live in Texas, but I'm not at the farm, as you can tell. Came over to Alabama to visit some folks. Stopped by the closed down Army base of Fort McClellan. I believe it closed in 1998, if I remember right. But on that base, they got a lot of historical treasures, and this is just one of them. This, as you can see, is the German-Italian Cemetery. It's a memorial cemetery to the POWs during the World War II. The cemetery was put in place for Germans only at one time. However, the Italian cemetery had closed, and they still had 3 Italian prisoners of war who were interned here at their death. At the time the North African campaign had closed down, it started in 1940, went to 13th May of 1943. And when it closed down, we had 3,000 prisoners of war, which included Germans and Italians. Out of those, 26 Germans died and 3 Italians. Only one of those prisoners of war had been death by suicide. So we memorialize our prisoners of war once they die, just like the Geneva Convention calls for, and we give them a headstone and a place of internment. There's 26 Germans here, like I said, and 3 Italians. Let me give you a tour of this amazing cemetery. As you approach the cemetery, you'll come off the road and you'll see this setting up off the road. It's just a circle drive. And this is a sign that they have out front. Fort McClellan, Enemy Prisoner of War Cemetery. And it's got the visitors regulations. And it is taken care of by the National Cemetery Administration of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Come up to a wrought iron gate, and you come in the cemetery. Once you come in the cemetery on this beautiful sidewalk, you'll come to a sign or a display of the historical importance of this cemetery. I believe this was the unit insignia, but I could stand corrected on that. You'll walk up a beautiful wooden bridge, as you can tell, into the cemetery. In memory of Italian prisoners of war, dedicated November 18th, 2001. And I'm sure you could look up some histories on each one of these soldiers. I will try to get them all before the end of the video. Just like most national cemeteries in America, it is very well manicured and it's very well taken care of. I think it's amazing. You can see some people left some coins and all, but I think it's amazing that we live in a country that when we do have prisoners of war, that we honor the obligation and take care of them during death, and do not just throw them in a hole like some of the Americans were at one time, from my understanding, in Europe. And I believe these three, the first three we come upon that had the placard in front of them here, these are the only three Italian soldiers in the cemetery here with this placard. The rest of them are going to be all German. That's 3 rows so far. So these are all the graves that are on the right side of the cemetery as you walk in. And then you see the insignia at the top of the hill on display. And then you have these graves over here. I see some people have some coins on his also. Some of them, they're hard to make out the names on them. Because they hadn't been colored in. I don't believe they color them in. I believe just some of the dirt and mold gets in on them into the white lettering, and it makes it easier for them to make out the letters. I'm gonna step up here to this one and then come back to my left. This is the first lieutenant right here. And then you can tell that they take care of the grass in bare spots. They'll come in and put more grass to make sure it grows properly. an overview, including the beautiful tree that's here for you. And I will get the address to this and add it to the video. But you can see it's totally enclosed and a decorative fence. Beautiful tree that's here. There's some more grass work that they've done. This is the address here, and I'll get the street name for you. Absolutely a beautiful cemetery. And it just goes to show you what a great country we are to honor our word and take care of the remains of these enemy combatants and prisoners of war. Well, folks, that's the tour of this cemetery. Thanks for joining us again on Living Texas, Hidden Spring Farm, even though we're not at the farm. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button. Y'all have a blessed day.